Okay, hi guys! I'm just coming on to show you my joining method for my log cabin squares. I've done a tiny little section just so that you can see what the end effect is going to be like. It's the corner to corner clusters all worked upwards rather than up, then across, then up, then across. So you can see how it works. This is a join that Sanita from Brightbag designed. She has a tutorial on her blog and I'll put a link to that in the description. So hers is a written tutorial. This is just gonna be the video. I have got her permission to film this. The way it's going to work when I put mine together from my super crude drawing is that I'm going to join these side sections here, and then I'm going to go up the long way. So I'm going sides. I'll have four? I think 4 long strips. I forget. I think it might be 3. I can't remember. I can't even remember how big my thing is. I think it's 3 by 4. So 3 long strips. And then I will join them up the centre. So I'm going to do the short ones and then the long lines. So anyway, here we go. Here's my quick thing. Let me just take this back so I can show you from the beginning. It seems a little fiddly to begin with because you're kind of slip stitching through, but believe me, it is really easy, and it's not going to take me very long to do at all. So I've got my little slip knot here. I'll start it right from the beginning so you can see. So wrap it around my finger, front loop to the back, front loop to the back, zip it off. I've got a nice little slip knot. Hook through. Apart from I don't want my hook through, I want my hook through here. You might hear the kids in the background. They are coming up with a friendship club. Super exciting stuff. They're making badges. So I'm going to pull my yarn through like that, and I'm just going to do 3 chains to begin. 1, 2, and 3. I wonder if I should come a little bit closer for you guys. Here we go. Sorry if that made you a little bit seasick. So I've got 3 chains, and then I'm going to attach it on this other side. So I'm going in between the stitches there, and I'm going to slip stitch it through. So this is the bit that's a little bit fiddly because you're going in there, you're going to grab your yarn from behind, and then you're going to pull it through at the front so that it's attached. So I've got 3 chains there, and I've slip stitched it through so that both these big squares are attached. Now I'm going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to slip stitch between the clusters here. So here's one cluster, here's the other one, so you can see because they're going the opposite way. And I'm going to slip stitch again. Now I'm turning my hook around, look, so that I can just grab it and then pull it through both the cluster gap in the clusters and the stitch, so it's slip stitched through it. Okay, so I've got 3 chains here, 3 chains here, and I slip stitched it in between the clusters. Now I'm going to treble 3. I'm not going to go into these stitches, I'm just going to go round the bar that it's created. So 1 treble, 2 trebles, 3 trebles, and I'm going to, let's move my ball away, slip stitch it between the clusters on this side so you can see the gap pretty clearly. I'm going to pull it through and go through the next one. Now I'm going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to slip stitch back on the other side. So I'm going back in where I slip stitched between the clusters before. So there's already a stitch there. I'm going to turn my hook so I can grab that yarn and then back through. So you see I've just got the one on my hook. If you turn your hook, it's a bit easier. So now I'm going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And I'm going to slip stitch through here. Turn my hook and pull it through. There we go. Now I'm going to back under the bar that I created when I chained 3 across. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going going to slip stitch up here between the clusters again. And you can see that the pattern is starting to take effect. You've got 2 clusters walking up, they're kind of walking up the squares. So chain 3 and slip stitch back where you did your slip stitch before, where you were creating a cluster from. Chain 3 again, 2 and 3. I'm going to go in the gap, slip stitch it through, and going between, look, under that bar, treble 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch. You can see the gap there, it's nice and big, can't ignore that one. Right, so I slip stitch between that. I'm going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to slip stitch back on the other side, bring it back through up, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch between your clusters, there we go, and now I'm going to do my trebles back under that bar again, 1, 2, last one, 3, and I'm going to just slip stitch that between the treble, between the clusters. Yeah, so there you go. As you can see, what you've got is clusters that are attaching it together. Makes a nice flat join as well. There's no sticky uppy bits anywhere, which I like. Make it a really nice soft blanket. In theory, I'll just have, well, not in theory, I will just have one end at each end to sew in, and then when I do the long strip, just which is up here, so I'll be doing these little ones, individual squares, join them all up, and then I'll do the long square. So not too many ends to sew in either. Now I've just used this grey to demonstrate it, but I'm actually going to be using this. Bring it in. It's Stylecraft in Midnight. It's actually navy though. It's quite hard to see in this picture, but it is navy. So that's what I'm going to be using to join. And I'm using a 5mm hook because it's the same size as what I was using on these, so in theory it should not make it pull anywhere. If you go for a smaller hook size, you could end up with it bunching a bit, which won't look so great. Yeah, so that is the joining method I'm going to be using, and I hope you find this tutorial helpful. I can't wait to see you guys making yours, so if you do make some, don't forget to tag me in any pictures you share on Instagram, and come and say hi to me over there. Okay, thanks very much. Bye guys.